Today's lesson will be on adding fields and records to an existing database. We will also look at data types. You should already have an earthquakes database downloaded onto your laptop and a worksheet provided by your teacher. Before we start, let's review fields and records. Fields are columns in a database. In our earthquakes database, we have 4 fields: an automatic ID number field, a year field, a location field, and a Richter scale measurement field. Records are rows in a database. In our database, we currently have 23 records. Let's add 2 more fields to our earthquakes database so we can add more information about each earthquake. The 2 fields we are going to add will be called number of deaths and tsunami warning. The number of deaths field will give information about the number of deaths for each earthquake, and the tsunami warning field will give information about whether a tsunami warning was generated for each earthquake. We will now add these 2 fields to our earthquakes database. Make sure you have your earthquakes database opened in the table view. Follow the steps shown in the video on your laptop. You may want to pause the video after each step. Step 1. Double-click on the field on the right of Richter scale measurement. Type in number of deaths. Click out of this field and adjust the size so that all the words show up. Step 2. Double-click on the field on the right of number of deaths. Type in tsunami warning. Click out of the field. Again, adjust the size so that all the words show up on the screen. Step 3. Click on View and then Design View. We now need to choose a data type that is the most appropriate for our 2 new fields. A data type defines what type of data you can type into each field. When you click on Data Type, click on the small arrow that opens up a drop-down menu beside the data type field. Have a look at the different options. Text will allow you to enter both letters and numbers, but it is only designed to hold a small amount of data, so you usually could only type in several words. Memo, on the other hand, also allows you to type in letters and numbers, but will hold more data than text, up to several sentences to paragraphs. Number will only let you enter numerical values, but it will allow you to do mathematical manipulations, like placing the numbers from largest to smallest. Date time allows you to enter dates and times. Currency allows you to enter monetary values. Auto number allows the database to automatically generate a whole number that increases by 1 as you add new records. You can also use auto number as a unique record identification number. Yes/No is a data type that is called a Boolean data type. A Boolean data type only allows 2 values to be entered, in this case yes or no. We will look at these other data types at a later lesson. For the number of deaths field, we need to select the number data type because number of deaths is a numeric value. For tsunami warning, we will select yes/no data type. That is because it only has 2 options. Yes, a tsunami warning was generated, or no, a tsunami warning was not generated. We could have selected the text data type, but yes/no will be a much more convenient data type. Step 5. Under the description, we can type in the description for each field. The number of deaths is about the number of deaths that resulted from the earthquake, so that is what we type in. Tsunami warning is about whether a tsunami warning was generated due to the earthquake, so that is what we type in. Step 6. We can now enter information into the two new fields for each record. Click on View and Datasheet View. Say Yes when the database asks you if you want to save the table now. Let's enter data for some of the records. Click on each field for the number of deaths and enter the number of deaths for each record. Tick the box in Tsunami Warning if a tsunami warning was generated. Leave the box unticked if no tsunami warning was generated. Looking at the information sheet that your teacher has given you, for record 1, an earthquake happened in 2010 in the location of Fiji with the Richter scale measurement of 6.0. There were 0 number of deaths and no tsunami warning was generated, so we'll leave this box unchecked. For record 2, the earthquake happened in 2010 in Vanuatu with a Richter scale measurement of 5.0. There were also 0 number of deaths and no tsunami warning was generated. As we can see in our information sheet, for records from 1 to 14, there were 0 number of deaths with no tsunami warning generated. So let's enter the data for these records. However, as we get to record 15, which shows an earthquake in 2009 in Vanuatu with a Richter scale measurement of 7.7, there's still 0 number of deaths, but a tsunami warning was generated, so click the box for tsunami warning. In record 16, which shows an earthquake in 2009 in Samoa with a Richter scale measurement of 6.6, there were 189 numbers of deaths and a tsunami warning was generated. Using your information sheet, complete your earthquake database up to record 20. Step 7. We can also enter information for each record in Form View. Click here to open up the navigation pane. Double-click in Form 1 to open up the form. As you can see, our two new fields of number of deaths and tsunami warning hasn't been added to our Form View yet, so that's the first thing we need to do. Click on View and click on Design View. In the top menu ribbon, select the button Add Existing Fields. Number of deaths and tsunami warning will show up in the field list. Double-click on each of these ones to add it to the form view. Close this. You can see now that these two fields have been added to our form. You can select each box to move it so that it is consistent with the rest of the database. Highlight the words in the field and make the font consistent with the rest of the database. The rest of the fields were in the font Verdana, bold, in size 12. Now that's done, click on View and click on Form View. We can now see that the information that we have entered before has been entered in the form view as well. However, previously we've only entered up to for record 20. We now need to add the information for records 21, 22 and 23 in the form view. Remember, in the form you can only view one record at a time. Use the Next Record button at the bottom of the screen to go to the next record. We are now on record 21. In your information sheet, record 21 is about an earthquake in 2008 in Vanuatu with a Richter scale measurement of 7.1. The number of deaths were 0, and no tsunami warning was generated. Click on the next record button to go to record 22, which shows an earthquake that happened in eastern Sichuan, China. In this earthquake, 68,000 people died, and no tsunami warning was generated. Click on the next record button to move on to record 23. In this earthquake in California, USA, there were 0 number of deaths, and no tsunami warning was generated. Step 8. We will now look at how to create new records. At the moment, we only have 23 records about 23 earthquakes. Suppose we want to add more earthquakes to our database. There are 2 ways we can do this. We can add a new record in a table, or we can add a new record in the form. Since we are already on the form view, let's add new records to the form first. Click on Next Blank Record button to create a new record. In the information sheet that your teacher has given you, record 24 shows that an earthquake happened in the year 2010 in the location of Bayo, Chile, with a Richter scale measurement of 8.8, and the number of deaths were 802. Also, a tsunami warning was generated. Let's create record 25 by clicking on the button New Blank Record at the bottom of the screen. According to the information sheet, record 25 contains an earthquake that happened in 2007 in the location of Solomon Islands with the Richter scale measurement of 8.1 and 52 number of deaths. A tsunami warning was also generated. Click on Next Blank Record button for a new record. For record 26, the earthquake happened in 2004 in the location of Sumatra with a Richter scale measurement of 9.1 and the number of deaths was 230,000. A tsunami warning was also generated. Step 9. We will now look at how to enter a new record in a table view. First of all, make sure you save your form. And then in the Form tab at the top, right-click and click Close. On your navigation panel on the left-hand side of the screen, double-click on Table to open it. As you can see, if you scroll down, the records that you've entered in the form view now appears on your table as well. On your information sheet your teacher has given you, we've got 30 records altogether, so we will now enter record 27 to 30 in the table view. To enter a record in the table view, you simply just enter the information in each new row. So in record 27, an earthquake happened in 2010 in the location of Haiti with a Richter scale measurement of 7.0 with the number of deaths of 222,570. No tsunami warning was generated.